Today we're going to talk all about transfer tape, what it is, how to use it, and if the tackiness of your transfer tape matters or not. If we're just meeting right now, hi, my name is Nisha. Welcome to Little Craft Nest. TechWrap sent me some transfer tape to test out for our video today, and I love using TechWrap products, and I'm sure you will too. So what is transfer tape? Transfer tape allows you to take your vinyl designs that you have cut and weeded out and transfer them as a whole onto your desired surface. So instead of piecing your vinyl pieces all together like a puzzle, you'll be able to move them all at once in the same position that you cut them out. To use transfer tape, what you'll do is take your vinyl design that you have cut out and weeded out, and then get your blank surface ready. So whatever you plan to stick that vinyl design onto, you want to prep that first. So what I like to do is take some rubbing alcohol and a lint-free cloth and just clean off that surface before I apply my vinyl design to it. Then grab your transfer tape and cut out a piece of transfer tape that's just slightly larger than your design. If it's too big, you'll have extra transfer tape that just gets in your way when you're trying to apply your vinyl design. And if your piece is too small, it may not pick up the edges of your design. Peel off the backing of your transfer tape and then lay your piece of transfer tape on top of your vinyl design. Make sure the sticky side is facing down, and then use a squeegee to rub over top of your design. Apply firm pressure to the transfer tape to make sure your whole design is sticking. Then you can flip your vinyl design upside down and gently peel off your vinyl backing. I find pulling down and on an angle works best. If you realize that some of your vinyl is not quite sticking to your transfer tape, place that backing down on top and rub over it a few more times with your squeegee. Once you've peeled off that backing, you'll be able to apply your design to your desired surface. Go over it a few more times again with your squeegee. Sometimes I like to use my finger and really get those edges so that I know my vinyl is sticking down really well to my surface, and then peel back that transfer tape. Again, I like peeling it down and on an angle. Now, if some of your vinyl starts to lift up and seems like it's not quite sticking, push down that transfer tape again and rub over it a few more times, and then try to peel that backing off once again. And I absolutely love that this transfer tape never leaves any sticky residue behind, so you'll end up with a clean, dry surface after you've peeled off your transfer tape. Now, TechWrap sells transfer tape with 3 different strength levels. So there's the low tack, medium tack, and high tack. So which one should you use, and does it really matter? Most of the time, you're gonna end up using medium tack, and that will cover most of your vinyl needs, whether you're using regular vinyl or even some specialty vinyls such as glow-in-the-dark or holographic vinyls. I recently decorated the inside of my Cricut maker with a number of different decals, and I used medium tack transfer tape for pretty much all of them. I was also able to use the same piece of transfer tape over and over again until it started to lose its stickiness, or I somehow destroyed that piece of transfer tape by ripping it or cutting it too small. So you can definitely save some money by reusing your transfer tape. You can even place it back down on the liner and use it for another day. After applying a number of vinyl decals to the inside lid of my Cricut machine, I wanted to use some textured glitter vinyl, and I wanted to place this on the bottom flap of my Cricut machine. So I decided to use the medium tack transfer tape again. However, when I used the medium tack transfer tape on this vinyl, it didn't quite work the way I wanted to. Some of the pieces weren't quite getting picked up, and some of the little pieces were moving around, which made me a little frustrated. I threw that piece in the garbage and decided to cut and weed out a new decal. So after I did that, I decided to use the high tack transfer tape. High tack transfer tape is for your textured and your glitter vinyls. Because they don't have a smooth surface on top, you definitely need something a little stronger to transfer those designs. So when I used the strong tack transfer tape, it was able to pick up each of those pieces no problem, and I was very impressed with the transfer. However, I was a little worried, wondering if my design would stick too much to the transfer tape and then not be able to come off once I put it on my Cricut Maker. But I placed the design on my Cricut Maker and I had no problem peeling off the transfer tape. My vinyl stuck to my machine and I was so happy with the results. So if you like to use a lot of glitter or textured vinyls, definitely make sure you have some high-tack transfer tape. It will save you so much frustration. Now I also wanted to add a very intricate flower design to my Cricut Maker using just some regular pastel color vinyl. So it wasn't textured at all, but the vinyl it weeded out was very thin. So I definitely didn't want to use a high-tack transfer tape, and I decided also not to use the medium tack transfer tape because when I used medium tack transfer tape earlier on another decal, it was the little glue gun at the top that I made. When I was peeling back the transfer tape, I actually ripped the design a little bit. You can't really tell, but I had to push that piece back onto my machine because it just tore when I pulled back the transfer tape. So I thought if I'm doing something this delicate, I better use a low tack transfer tape. And the low tack transfer tape, I had no problem picking up my design. And when I placed it on my Cricut Maker, I was able to easily peel the transfer tape back, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. Now, another thing you can use low tack transfer tape for is if you're making cards and you want to put vinyl on top of cardstock. Now, often you think, won't the transfer tape rip the cardstock? Not necessarily. If you're using a low tack transfer tape, you'll be able to transfer your design on some papers and most cardstocks. Just make sure you test the little corner first before you go ahead and do a whole project. If you were to use a high tack or medium tack transfer tape on any type of paper or cardstock, it would definitely rip your material as you try to transfer your design. But the low tack really allows you to get some vinyl designs onto your cardstock so you can make very unique and fun cards. So the tackiness of your transfer tape definitely does matter, and you can save yourself a lot of crafting frustration by using the right one. Most of the time you'll probably use the medium tack transfer tape, but there's definitely times when you'll want to use the low tack or high tack transfer tape. I will leave a link below in the description of all of the transfer tapes I used today in this video, and I hope to see you on more crafting adventures.